Every day you wake up, your destiny depends on what you do. Sometimes I roll one when I'm stressed out, and sometimes I roll two. Hear people saying shit about the way I am, but I know that ain't true. At times I feel like I'm all by myself, and I know you do too. I make some phone calls and check emails, cause I'm always grinding. Ain't no rush, I do things slow, cause it's all about timing. Some people think when you get to this point in life, you made it. I seen so many settle for less, that's when talent get wasted. I ain't there, but if I can, I'ma try to be perfect. And for those who riding with me, I'ma try to make it worth it. I drink too much, I prefer weed, cause it's better for the stress. I just woke up, I don't get sleep. Boy, my schedule's a mess. Man, I work hard. Goddamn. Shit. Man, I work hard. Man, I work hard. Literally, nigga. Get your bags, let's go. Man, I work hard. We on, nigga. It ain't no game. It ain't no game without being no pain. It ain't no game. It ain't gonna be no game without being.
Sharp like an edge of a samurai sword, the mental blade cut through flesh and bone. Though my mind's at peace, the world out of order. Listen, then the heat, life gets colder. Oh yes, I have to find my path. No less walk on earth, water and fire. The elements compose a man. Opens my modus operandi is an amalgam. Steel packed tight in micro. Chip on my armor, a sign of all pro. The ultimate reward is diamond out of wars. At odds with the times of wars with no lords. A freelancer, a battle cry of a hawk, make a dove fly and a tear dry. Wonder why lone wolf don't run with the clan.
Yo, let me know if y'all can hear me.
Some days, some nights, some live, some die in the way of the samurai. Some fight, some bleed, sun up, sun down, the sons of a battle cry. Some days, some nights, some live, some die in the name of the samurai. Some fight, some bleed, sun up, the sun down, the sons of a battle cry. Battle cry.
Yo. Yo, what's going on? Let me know if the audio good. What's good? How's everybody doing? What it do, Ski? Muhammad, what's good? Oh, cool. I got the chat up there now. I've been meaning to add that in. Wasn't sure if I was gonna like how it looked though, so I just kind of like left it out. But I'm running with OBS Studio now since Streamlabs is just so heavy, and so I guess OBS just had that kind of pre-added in, which is kind of nice. Let me get the chat right here. But what's good, man? How y'all doing? Today we talking about the impact of 90s and 2000s rap cover art on graphic design. Oh, is my computer freaking out? Okay, there we go. Am I glitching? Y'all still hear me? Okay, cool. I think I'm still there. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. And so, if we're gonna talk about, the influence of '90s mixtapes and like 2000s kind of cover art, we gotta, first kind of talk about what are mixtapes, because, like mixtapes is, I think this like it's kind of like an old, like pretty old at this point. This is an era of like blog websites that hosted mixtapes like Dat Piff, Live Mixtapes, Spinrilla. And so mixtapes are kind of like unofficial releases from artists, often featuring kind of uncleared samples and artists rapping over the beats of others. Typically involves an artist collaborating with a DJ. So like like this is the era where kind of DJs are screaming over the intros of like different songs and stuff that come on before the artist has a chance to perform. And so but what ended the mixtapes was the rise of streaming platforms like Spotify, iTunes, stuff like that. Kind of websites like Dat Piff and Spinrilla just kind of had a smaller kind of user base as opposed to something like Spotify or iTunes. So it was natural for artists, musicians to just pivot to the platform with the larger audience. And so let me see here. Yeah, this was a more direct way to distribute new music on various platforms. And so but also a part of that, what also kind of contributed to the fall off of kind of like the mixtape era, the Dat Piff, Spinrilla era, DJ Drama, Don Cannon, they were kind of big in kind of popularizing kind of that DJ kind of collaboration with different music artists and stuff. And so with this being kind of like with this being like an unofficial thing, and DJ Drama and Don Cannon playing a huge part in that, it was unofficial, so music labels didn't like this type of stuff. And so the FBI raided DJ Drama and Don Cannon's, I believe their studio or something like that at the time, and seized a bunch of mixtapes, froze the company's assets, and because there was a legal gray zone with mixtapes. And so and then also artists would be paid to host their mixtapes on websites like Dat Piff and Spinrilla. And so I'm sure that they were making money this way without involving kind of music labels. But I'm not like heavy into that stuff, and so I could be wrong on something there. But there was a legal gray area there, which is kind of why DJ Drama and Don Cannon's studios kind of got raided. And yeah. Oh, let me get to the fun facts here. So fun facts, Dat Piff was founded in 2005 by Marcus Frazier. And I kind of already covered this a little bit, that mixtapes lived in an era of DJs kind of shouting over intros of rap music. So, this is like the Waka Flocka Flame era, Luke Skywalker type of era. And it was popular to rap over the beats of others on mixtapes, as we see Lil Wayne do with like on No Ceilings with like Swag Surf, you know what I mean? And like, so stuff like that. Yeah, Lil Wayne era. And so here are some common kind of styles and motifs from different eras of rap cover art. So I tried to get a good range in there. I'm not including like a lot of the kind of swag era, so that No Ceilings era, kind of, I want to say Kanye kind of graduation. I think all of that stuff falls within an era that's kind of different than what we're talking about today. And so this era is mainly, or these styles and motifs are mainly highlighting like the golden ages of rap music. So like Nas, Illmatic, and then kind of what's the other one? The Bling Era, which is kind of popularized by Lil Wayne, Young Money, Cash Money, and then the third one being the blog era, which is the Dat Piff kind of mixtape era that we've talked about. And so yeah, styles and motifs, things that you commonly see kind of musicians and rap artists do. They often have like or for cover art, they'll also use like a government photograph, so maybe like a mugshot, or like something like you see here with ODB, who's just using like his identification card for food stamps. And so he's using that as the cover art for one of his releases. Then we've got group shots like this one here from NWA, straight out of Compton. And then we've got Notorious Big, Ready to Die album cover art with childhood nostalgia. And artists still do this stuff today where they'll just they'll just use an image from themselves as a kid, for the cover art of like a release or something like that. I believe we've seen like XXX Tentacion do this with the cover for the Question Mark album, and I believe there are some other people that have done stuff like this, but we'll get into that. And then we've got kind of the blinged out and embellished kind of look for cover art. Am I glitching here? Y'all let me know if I'm still here. My laptop is throwing a fit right now. Let me switch some stuff up. Disable preview. All right, y'all let me know if I'm like lagging or something and I need to change something up. But yeah, I'm gonna just continue. And so yeah, then we've got the blinged out and embellished stuff with like Master P. And this was kind of you good, gang? All right, appreciate it, bro. And yeah, this was popularized by Young Money, Cash Money, you know what I mean? But the designers behind stuff like this are Pen and Pixel. And so shouts out to Fuller Mo. I've heard Fuller Mo talk about them a lot. And so Pen and Pixel are the people that kind of popularized this style of just having like the diamond kind of text, or just kind of like just showing off like just having like a photograph of the artist just kind of superimposed with just like, amongst other things, like fire. You might have like some pit bulls in the front or something like that, and just like a bunch of other stuff, like maybe like a really nice car or something like that. And so Pen and Pixel is renowned for kind of bringing that style in for the bling era of like rap and hip hop music. And then we've got Black and White, a lot of covers, or a lot of rap artists kind of still do this today, where it's just kind of an obscured image of themselves, kind of, but in black and white, and it's kind of dramatic in a sense, And then this photo manipulation with kind of like subtle hints of kind of pop culture. We've got the Barack Obama here, but it's like Bird for like Gucci Mane's, like, that's one of his like slogans, or kind of like one of the things, like one of the terms that people associate him with. And so just kind of this style here which is very reminiscent of just kind of like I want to say like movie posters and stuff like that. How movie posters, especially if it's like if the movie poster is about, like, for example, like the Avengers or something like that, or if it's like a movie cover, like, in it's just a bunch of superheroes that are just kind of like stacked on top of each other. How they have like within posters like that, the lighting is kind of, they often have like some really good like rim lighting and stuff like that. But I think this is definitely like kind of inspired by movie posters in a sense, but it kind of takes it a step further with just like, you've got a bunch of stuff, like it looks like the White House is in the background, along with like, then he's got this podium, but then the podium has like ice over the top of it. Adam A says can't see. Oh, am I in the way? Yeah, let me see if I can move myself out the way here. Okay, yeah. So it's very, very small in the corner here, but it's the photo manipulation. We've got a hint of pop culture within that because it's like, this is around the time that kind of Obama is like running for president, and so they just kind of played off of that, which is really interesting. And so moving on. All right, and so here's some cover art throughout the eras of rap music. We've kind of already discussed a lot of it, but I want to get into the details a little bit for cover art within each one of those eras. So first, we're going to start off with the golden era of hip hop cover art. And so we've got the NWA Straight Outta Compton cover art here. And that's, I believe it's shot by Eric Poppleton. I'm not sure if they designed it as well, but I know they shot the image for it. So Eric Poppleton kind of played a part in creating this cover art here. And then the Notorious Big cover art we've got here, designed by Steve Carr, who I think is the art director of that. And then Sia Adams and Kenny, and I won't say the last name, but Kenny, I think I'll have a hard time saying that last name. I couldn't find who designed the cover art for for Dr. Dre, The Chronic, but we do know Brent Kilroy played a part in designing this here. And then we've got Joe DiDonato for the Nas Illmatic cover, Jonathan for the Jay-Z No Doubt, Reasonable Doubt cover, and then for the Snoop Doggy Dogg cover here, that was illustrated by Daryl Daniels, who's actually Snoop Dogg's older cousin. And then Greg Hawkins designed this cover here as well. And so these are just kind of like some cover arts from the golden ages of hip hop. So what do y'all think about these? Do y'all like any of these? Any of these stand out to you in particular? Let me know something. All right, we can keep going. I know everybody's probably locked in. Maybe me says the Snoop cover. Nah, the Snoop cover is dope. Kel said, always thought the Old Dirty Bastard cover was fire. Yeah, nah, the ODB cover is fire. Oh, Nightbot coming in. I don't know what that's about, Nightbot. But yeah, no, the ODB cover is fire. All right, we'll keep it moving. And then we've got the Bling Era, which was kind of led by Pen and Pixel, and Young Money, Cash Money here. So pretty much all of these covers were designed by Pen and Pixel. Like, I don't know. I tried to find who designed the Project Pat one and who designed the Gangsta Boo Acquiring Minds cover, but I could not for the life of me find the people that designed these covers. But seeing that it's in a similar style, I want to say Pen and Pixel designed these. But yeah, so what stands out to you guys? What stands out to you guys about these covers? Maybe me says it's crazy how bad and good they were at the same time. Yeah, like this Birdman covers is just kind of like what's the old TV show, like the Animorphs TV show, like it's like Animorphs vibes kind of. And then the Snoop Dogg one here, like the text treatment on the Snoop Dogg right here is like pretty decent, to be honest, but like they losing me like kind of down here with like the rest of this. But yeah, they're all kind of like the Texas Ballers one, like this text treatment up here is like kind of dope. What do y'all not like about these covers? Vatlo was good. Y'all got anything y'all don't like about these covers, or anything you wanna talk about? Which one do you think was executed the best of these 8 covers? For me, I feel like, as far as composition, I feel like the Gangsta Boo in here is kind of wins. Like, there's not too much going on. Yeah, Snoop Dogg or Gangsta Boo. 8 Ball, 8 Ball and MJG. Yeah, this one is pretty solid. I like the text treatment for this. I could see some of you guys doing some stuff like this. This is kind of nice here. I think this is the most kind of modern take of all of these. Snoop is like a final boss. Prada says, in which software would you do the diamond text effect? I ask myself that on the ones 21 Savage cover too. Oh, on the 21 Savage Metro Boomin collab. I think I've got that one in here somewhere too. But it would just be in like Photoshop, kind of the effects panel. You can apply like a diamond, and I've done this from scratch. You can apply like if you just find a picture of just like a diamond or something like that, and then turn it into a pattern, and then you can kind of layer them on top of each other in some sort of way. But for that effect, like, you might as well save yourself some time and just go get you a Fuller Mo pack for real. Like, that man kills it with this type of text treatment. So just go get you a Fuller Mo pack. Like, you'll save yourself hours of time. All right, y'all want to move on to the next ones? All right, moving on. All right, and now we've got the blog era of kind of a hip hop, rap music and stuff. So these would be cover arts that would be featured on like Dat Piff, Spinrilla, live mixtapes. And so we've got the designers here. And so the 2 Chainz cover here, designed by Mike Reeve or Mike Rev. And then we've got these covers here by Future, French Montana, and Gucci, designed by Kid 8. Then we've got this cover here, which is designed by Skrilla. And then we've got the I don't know what cover this is exactly, but this one's designed by Miami Chaos. And then this one by Gorilla Zoe, designed by Tansta Designs. And there's a really cool book that covers like all of these artists that I pulled a lot of inspiration from. The book is called what is the name of that book? It's called Damn Son, Where'd You Find This? And it's a book just about these artists here, but it covers their cover art in a little bit more detail. And so, if you're into stuff like this, like, definitely check out that book. Like, it's one that I'm hoping to get. Maybe I'll get it as like an early Christmas present or something for myself. I feel like these are coming back, but everything these days is recycled. Oh yeah, like there's a lot of stuff, like like there's that Playboy Cardi cover that I don't think was actually ever gonna be the real like Playboy Cardi cover, but I think it was more so just for promo. But someone designed a cover for Playboy Cardi that was kind of paying homage or paying homage to Lil Wayne, the Dedication 3, like with like the little scribbles in the background, and then it's kind of black and white, but almost kind of like it's like thresholded, but it's got like hints of red on it. If you're a Playboy Cardi fan, you know what I'm talking about. What do y'all think of these though? Anything stand out to y'all about these? I love the Kid 8 one here. I was just like how he's got Gucci Mane's head just like superimposed onto Buzz Lightyear's body. Like, this is so funny. It's like so good. It's like if I saw this like at a corner store or something, like I'm definitely stopped to just like to pick this up and might even just buy it. I feel like this is kind of like how you made. I feel like, you know how kind of Drake had the cover of like the emoji, like the pregnant emoji. I feel like this is like the old, like the 2010 or like 2010 early 2000s version of that, of like trying to get your cover art to kind of go viral. So I felt like this is, if not any of these, definitely this one. Maybe Me says Future and Wiz the cleanest cut ones. Yeah, nah, the Future, this one is pretty dope here. I'm not gonna lie. Prod says the effort behind it compared to majority of covers nowadays is crazy. Maybe Me says, laugh my ass off, is that Plies behind Gucci? Oh my god. Oh, I didn't even peep that. Why is that so funny, bro? Nah, this is hilarious. They got Plies on Woody's body, bro. I never noticed that until now. That's funny. But the Wiz Flight School in here is definitely iconic. Process, do you know the rapper YT? He is going a really interesting visual route right now. No, I'm not sure. Not sure who that is. But yeah, no. So y'all done with these? Y'all got any more thoughts on these? Like the French Montana one here is kind of crazy. Like there is a lot of effort going into these, regardless of how, you know, how kind of silly some of them may be, you know, but you know, at the least, you know, like this is pretty good work, if I would say, you know, for the time. But all right, let's keep it moving. All right, so next we're going to get into examples of how designers are utilizing similar styles today. So all of the styles and motifs that we kind of talked about, I just kind of want to, you know, kind of shed some light on artists, you know, nowadays that are kind of doing things that are similar, whether it's kind of them doing it on purpose, or if it's just kind of like, you know, them intentionally just kind of paying homage to, you know, kind of older cover art, or, you know, like if it's just not intentional at all, but it just has characteristics of some of the stuff that we've seen, you know, kind of back in the day, quote unquote. And so yeah, let's get into that. And so yeah, we've got this cover art by Bones, designed by XXVNII. And then we've got this cover art for Meg Thee Stallion, designs by Vito, which I think that I think that they didn't end up using this one as the original cover or as the actual cover, but I think this is one that you know, their kind of marketing team kind of showed early on that kind of got a little bit of backlash. But I was gonna update, sorry, got the burps. I was gonna update it with the new one, but I couldn't find the artist for the new one, so I would much rather, you know, kind of show this one and kind of shed light on some designers, you know, within the industry right now, as opposed to showing a cover art that I couldn't find the design for. So yeah, this one is designs by Vito, and then we've got the cover art for Savage Mode 2 here, which, you know, I believe their team tapped into Pen and Pixel to kind of get that style. And then we've got 3800 Degrees by NBA Youngboy here, which also kind of pays tribute to Pen and Pixel, designed by Trill Graphics. And then we've got the ASAP Rocky Testing, which this is kind of reminiscent of the NWA cover, but I don't think it was directly inspired by the NWA cover. I think that just kind of, you know, it just worked out that way, that it's like, oh, this cover kind of looks similar to this one, you know, because we're inspired by things some indirectly sometimes. And so I think this is one of those cases. And this photograph was taken by Carrie Fagan. I'm not sure if they actually designed it, but I know that they took the photograph for it. And so, yeah, then we've got the cover art for Kodak Black here, which kind of, which pays tribute to the Notorious Big album cover here. The 21 Savage American Dream cover here, which is kind of reminiscent. I know this is a little bit of a stretch, but it's kind of reminiscent of the Nas cover for Illmatic. And then we've got the dedication by Uno the Activist, which is a clear tribute to the Dedication 3 by Lil Wayne. So what do you guys think of these? Y'all got any thoughts on these covers? Then we got the two Hollis one, which is kind of crazy. Also tribute to Pen and Pixel. Maybe Me says the ASAP cover is fire. Yeah, I've always loved this ASAP cover. It's like, it's simple, but it gets the point across, you know? There's very nice kind of composition there. Y'all got any more thoughts on these before I move on? Prod says, in my opinion, inspiration is good, but straight up copy in some cases is boring. I mean, yeah, it can be. I could definitely see that. I mean, unless there's like a super good reason behind like directly copying something, you know, I think it's easily avoidable. But with a style like Dedication 3, like if you're gonna emulate something like that or replicate something that looks like that, I think there's no way. This is such a iconic cover. I think that there's no way that you are inspired by this and you know, people don't know it. But all right, so moving on. All right, and so I kind of want to highlight some ads and marketing, you know, from some of these artists, you know. So you know, we're talking about cover art, but just to kind of put the times into perspective, I think that it's good. It would be good to show just like some kind of ads, you know, from different kind of brands partnering with artists, you know, just to kind of highlight, you know, cinematography at the time, you know, 3D designers at the time potentially who could have a hand in stuff like this, and designers also. So yeah, let me get this set up for y'all. All right, there we go. Hopefully this plays.
Tick-tock, you don't stop. You put a can in your hand and just pop the top. Hey yo, Chris, what's up, love? What's that in your hand? It's an S to the P-R-I-T-E. Can understand the cross, Chris. Drinks the crazy twist of unexpectedness that you should never miss. So what's your name? Daddy, M-A-C. And what you drink? S-P-R-I-T-E.
Is that glitching for y'all?
Thirst quenching like a kiss with a lime and twist. Now you know that's kicking. Word. So drink up is what you gotta do. Why? Cause I like the Sprite in you.
Okay, I think that's like glitching a ton for me. Is it glitching? Be right back. I gotta go invest in another $3,000 laptop that doesn't glitch when I play video. We can go on to the next one. Hopefully the next one's not glitchy. If the next one is glitchy, we'll just skip this segment. All right, let's see if that plays.
Again, we in the wrong place, man.
You can't throw a hot party out here.
Ugh, how you liking that? I know the party's inside. Ain't no hiding that.
I wish I could show these, but they're glitchy. It's all good. We'll skip this segment. I'll drop them in the Discord or something.
Again, we in the
Dang, I really wanted to I really wanted to have a good laugh about this video with y'all, cause it's low-key kind of funny and kind of good at the same time. But we can skip it. And so next up, we'll get into the live critique segment. But I'm gonna take a quick break real quick before we jump into that. So I'll be right back.
Sun clean, sun up, the sun down, the sun of a battle cry. A battle cry.
Two, yes. Yo. It's King Ghidra, combined with the forces of non-ether. Blowing woofers and tweeters, shaking syllable meters. Disasters cataclysmic, mystic natural. It's about time we hit y'all with some substance that's actual. I got a gift called hip-hop prophecy. Since 2003 ends the reign of the Jiggy MT. No more roaming on this planet like scavengers. Scientists broke the code of the Gregorian calendar. Defying laws of space and time. Trying to trace my lines, hold up, respect the architect. Digital rolling, my whole crew roll with VS. Type to master this whole universe in 3 steps. We stretch across the equator with something major. Universal rhyme tones tamper with your time zone. Minds blown by the millions just for the feeling. Hip hop, it just don't stop until I make a killing. Nah, I'm kidding, but for real, the world ain't the same no more. Take your life to next level or remain no more. Take your life to next level or remain no more. Word out, word out.
Well, I'm colliding with the mind of a survivor, surviving, uncover the time, brother. The high volume, wide column, height sliding, verb jogging aside. Dodging mirages, conquer the vibe, hunger lurks, 9 to 5 work saga. God bless the life, Father Trife, travel the light. Balance the globe on flight, vocal pimp in the stroke, so you know how it go down, yo. Struggle to ghetto, yo. Metal throat, settle the dough. Live showbiz, the cannonball, weapon, men at arms, 4 section. Super intelligence, balance, benevolence, stinging nettle medicine. Crouch, tiger, dragon, craftmatic, posture, back, shift, catch this. Passes through the atlas. First class, diplomatic status, stagma, flagged in, overstanding the plan. Bar scan, identify, camera shot, streets watch, time X clocks. Punch lunch on the dot, 5 minutes to rock. So we blue block cruises, old news, how we do.
All right, all right. We back. Y'all ready for the critique segment? First up, we got Connor with the Nas Illmatic cover art. How we feeling about this one, chat? Let me know something. What y'all think? Y'all got any feedback for Connor? Hideout says 7 out of 10. Why you think it's a 7 out of 10, bro? That's decent. But why you think it's a 7 out of 10? Amenizy, I'm sorry, I don't know how to say it. Says W typography. My first thought is there is a lot of grain. Like, I know as designers we kind of lean on grain a little bit, but I feel like this could have been better without it. And maybe if instead of having the background kind of extend beyond the back of the text, I feel like it would have looked cool if maybe the background like kind of cut off so that the text could stand out. Or maybe if the area where or behind the text, maybe if it was darker, I feel like it could have looked cool. Maybe me says the text needs to stand out more. I agree. Hideout says, I like the coloring. Too much light, to be honest. Yeah, I think you could have like I see that you're adding in some sort of like kind of like steel kind of texture for the text, but it's so small. Like, I feel like you added it in kind of as an afterthought. And so I would have liked to see that blown up just a little bit so that I could kind of like understand, so that my like eye can understand what that is. Because I can't tell if it's like, you know, some sort of steel texture or if they're diamonds. Adame says the Nas takes away the attention from the first title. Yeah, the Nas stands out a lot more than the first title. Maybe if you made the text here red also, instead of just having the red border around it. Maybe if you just made the text red and just did away with the steel texture. Adame says, but overall very nice designs. Yeah, it's the composition is good. It's very simple. You don't have a lot of elements kind of at play, which is a good thing. It gets the point across. I could see this being like an actual cover, you know. Just needs a little more TLC. But good work on this, Connor. Y'all got any more thoughts for Connor? All right, we'll move on to the next. Maybe me says can't read the text at first sight. Yeah, I feel like there's like a little you kind of added like some shading going across, like right here, to try and give it some depth. But it's making it harder to read. All right, let's move on to the next one. All right, next we got Nick Wears Gucci. Nick Wears Gucci says he took inspo from the 90s Icy Blue album style. Didn't want to include any 90s artists. Felt it would be dope to use current artists. So this is a cover art for Lil Yachty and Ian, Hate Me. What y'all think of this one? Definitely Missy Elliott kind of I forget the name of that album or that track that she dropped, but definitely kind of gives like the icy blue vibe that cover gave off. I forget the name of the cover though, unfortunately. What y'all think of this one? At my first thought is that I would have liked the blue to be a little more saturated. Maybe me says Y2K vibes. Yeah, I would have liked for this blue to be kind of like, to have a little bit more vibrance. Like, I think those blue areas should pop like way more. Adam A says, I like the close-up imagery and the shiny effect of the teeth to match the theme and style of the text. Yeah. And yeah, maybe something like kind of like a lens flare, like not exactly, but like some sort of sparkle around the teeth or something could have been cool. I don't think it needs it, but I think it would have been nice to just kind of play around with. And maybe for the hate me, like the type treatment, I think is solid, but it makes me wonder, like the entire type treatment is kind of glowing. I would have liked to see what that looked like if, it was just kind of glowing in like specific areas. So if like you like retained like some of the sharpness of the typeface, but just kind of made it glow like in specific spots, I think that would reflect kind of like the shininess of like the teeth, or like, kind of sparkles like coming off of the teeth. Because I believe he's wearing a grill in this photo. And then the Lil Yachty and Ian that's down here. What do y'all think? Do y'all like the placement of this? Adam A says, maybe I would like to see a solid color outline of the image to make it pop a bit. Y'all got any more thoughts on this one? Yuko says barely legible for the Lil Yachty Ian text right here. Yeah, I think this is like this almost kind of feels like an afterthought. Like I would place this kind of like maybe closer to Hate Me somewhere. It does seem a little hidden. Yeah, I feel like you could have tried some other stuff with this. Y'all got any more thoughts on this one? Overall, though, I think the cover itself is solid. Like, I like the aesthetic of it. And maybe me says maybe another font on that part. Yeah, maybe like a simple like sans serif or something would have been cool. Or maybe just remove it altogether, and just have the Hate Me in the corner. I feel like this section here is just so strong that I don't think it really needs to have that in the corner. And my last thought would be, I would like to see, like, maybe if there were some like subtle like highlights or like some like more dark areas within here. Like if you can add in like some subtle highlights, but like make them dark so that, this isn't just kind of like just kind of like a white blob on the cover. Like if there was something here to kind of separate the teeth, I think that would have been cool. But yeah, y'all got any more thoughts? All right, moving on to the next one. Good work, Nick. Solid cover. All right, next we got, oh, let me make sure I didn't skip one. Okay, there we go. All right, next we got Chris. Chris says, with the band back on stage, it's only fair they get a tribute. Took inspiration from Eazy-E and Tupac albums. What y'all think of this one? Let me know what y'all think. Maybe me says looks like some flyers. Yeah, this one, I think it may be the text down here in the corner makes it feel like a flyer kind of. I think, you know, there's a good amount of texture here. If I were to redesign this, I probably would have took Linkin Park, maybe centered it a little bit, because I think you've got a few elements here. You've got some texture. I can't tell if you have a few textures stacked on top of this, but this kind of looks like you know, ripped plastisol wheat texture, or maybe like a plastic texture. I'm not too sure. But then you got a light leak over here. I feel like those two elements together, they're not, you know, I feel like it's either or. I feel like you're leaning too much, you know, it's too much in between both of those. Like if I was to redesign this, I would probably center Linkin Park, boost the contrast of the image here to make it pop a little bit more, remove the kind of ripple text effect that you have here, because I think the type treatment as it is already strong, so you don't need it to have like a ripple kind of effect along the edges. And then instead of doing like this kind of, I want to say this kind of like hue kind of duotone effect over it, I would just kind of make it black and white and then remove this and leave the light leak, and then kind of get rid of the texture. Just kind of simplify it a bit. Like it's you've got a lot going on, but you know, it's like it's simple at the same time, but you've got a lot of elements at play here. Maybe me says it needs something in the top left. Yeah, this is definitely a focal point here, which kind of feels a little empty. I feel like centering Linkin Park would take care of that. But what do y'all think? Y'all got any more thoughts? Yuko says Linkin Park could be left aligned, track list right aligned, maybe. Okay. Hideout says the title could be placed at the bottom center. Yeah, that could be nice. Let's take the Linkin Park here, put it in the center, bring the group photo up a little bit. That would actually be really nice, because then I think you could just have this kind of fade out in this section here, which would kind of free up space for this logo here, and then the text here also. And then I feel like the text should be the same color as Linkin Park and the logo, so that they, you know, so that they relate. Because right now, with this color, with the text being this color, it feels like it's a little bit disconnected from the other elements on the page. All right, solid work, Chris. Moving on to the next one. All right, we got UT Curse, The Big Picture. What y'all think of this one? What y'all think of this one? I like the shot. I like the red in it. I think the areas where the red is kind of placed is nice. Like the text here complements Big L along with this strip of what I would say are maybe features for the cover. And then also it kind of plays off of the graffiti in the background. So this one is nice. Good work, UT Curse. I like the fisheye lens shot as well. The red also kind of plays on the eyes here as well. Hot Out says, I like it. Adam A says, this one is nice. Definitely gives me a 90s mix feel. Yeah, this one is solid. I love the texture in this one too. Yeah, I don't really have oh. Did you do this in Illustrator? And because I see where you added the stroke around the text, was this done on purpose? You can if that wasn't intentional, you doing this the overlapping strokes, if that wasn't intentional, if you're doing this in Illustrator, instead of just using the stroke fill that's within Illustrator, use the appearance panel. And then from within the appearance panel, I forget where it is exactly. I've done a video on this, but you could go to there should be kind of like Pathfinder options within the appearance panel, and you could just add the add Pathfinder option from within the appearance panel, and it should get rid of this kind of a stroke here, just as a quick tip. But other than that, I think this is solid. Y'all got any more thoughts? Good work, UT Curse. All right, we'll go to the next one. All right, Adam Mays. Adam Mays 26 says, I designed the album cover to match her genre, space-like music. She's a current artist and I enjoy her music a lot. I took inspiration from 90s space rock music, which helped me create this album. This was printed and scanned and edited a bit. All right, y'all got any thoughts for Adam Mays? How are we feeling about this one? The electricity kind of, or the lightning kind of coming from the sides and kind of hitting the edges there, definitely reminds me of some old school like pen and pixel graphics. Here you go. What's that emoji, bro? What emoji is that? What y'all think? Maybe Me says font needs more grid. Yeah, I think that was kind of the first thing I noticed when I saw this one, is that the font, the typeface feels a little bit disjointed from the piece itself. Like, you know, you've got this kind of like electricity kind of shooting in from the sides and then kind of, you know, hitting the portrait there, hitting the edges and lighting up the portrait there. But then at the bottom, you've got, you know, this sort of kind of collegiate typeface here that's kind of in, you know, beveled, but kind of has green highlights. You know, I feel like you could have done something way simpler with the text here, and this would have turned out decent. So yeah, if I were to redesign this, I would start with changing up the text here. You know, I don't think you need this much detail within the text. Just go with, like, you know, a cool typeface that maybe, since it's supposed to be space themed, maybe like a simpler kind of sans serif font that that's kind of has like a more of a tech vibe, kind of like a space vibe to it. I feel like this just the text here completely misses the mark as far as kind of what you are saying that the music sounds like, you know, and you want the cover art to kind of reflect the music there. Y'all got any more thoughts on this one? All right. Adam A's solid. All right, let's go to the next one. All right, we got Award A. Adam Hicks 26 says, I tried. 2% better, 10-20% better every day. Like, if you keep showing up for stuff like this, and you know, even if you don't show up for design challenges like that, if you're just designing like every other day, like just try and make something every day, like, and just aim to get 2% better, 10% better. Like, if you can do 2% better every day by the end of the year, you know what I mean? Like, you'll look back on like your previous work and you'll see the progress. Like, I promise you. Like, I know of you from around the Discord and stuff, and I've already seen your progress with like a lot of the stuff that you've submitted. So like, keep pushing with this stuff. Like, you're getting there. But next up, we got Award A. Award A says, this was a commission work earlier this year, but it fits in to the challenge. Fits to this challenge was well. Haha. I'm sure they meant if it fits into this challenge so well. But Award A, what y'all think of this one? I really like this this 3D text here. Did you get this effect in Photoshop? If you did, then that's kudos. Like, that's kind of dope. This looks like it was done in Blender and brought into Photoshop. Adam A says, this is my favorite. Maybe Me says, more highlights and shadows to make them blend as one. Yeah, it could use like behind the dog here, you could use like some shading to just kind of segment things a little bit, just to kind of you know, unify the composition a little bit. Like, you're missing a lot of shading, like, you know, even how this suitcase filled with the money is just so close to this dog here. Like, you could use some shading there, as well as, you know, throughout the diamonds that you have there, throughout the people. I can't tell if this was the shading that was already on them, but it looks like you kind of tried to add some in. I think just push that a little bit more. But definitely love this. The top part of this is great, and I love the fire and the type treatment for this as well. This definitely is giving me like pen and pixel vibes though. Like, so kudos. I feel like one thing that you could have done is just push this a little bit. Like, if you could have superimposed the text onto the inside of the suitcase to almost kind of make it look embossed, like within the inside of it, like it's a part of the suitcase, I think that would have been really cool. But this just kind of looks like you just kind of made the text and then just kind of slapped it on. But this area could use some work. There's some potential there. This whole thing has potential. Like, this is dope. Y'all got any more thoughts on this one? Maybe Me says not bad though overall. Yeah, this is solid. Love the money floating in the background there. All right, good work, Award A. All right, next up we got Big Problem Mac, who says, Inspired by the works of Pen and Pixel as well as all the bootleg tape covers from the early to late 90s. Big shouts to Aaron and Sean. I'm not gonna say that last name. What y'all think of this one? The game is tight. We've got a lot going on with the top typography here. We've got the road, we've got the cup of lean and the road coming out the cup of lean, and we've got the old school. That's funny. We got the city in the back. We've got the dice. Kind of the casino kind of elements in here. Then around the edges, I can't tell what texture this is. It's like a diamond or like gold texture. Maybe Me says the bottom text needs more shadow or glow to stand out. Yeah, I almost didn't even see this. And this is cool. This little lock up right here. It definitely kind of gets lost though. Hideout says bottom left feels empty. Definitely Pen and Pixel vibes. What y'all think of this one? I would say much like the last one. Now I know, kind of Pen and Pixel makes these covers, and they're like famous for being like low-key bad, but like kind of good and nostalgic. I get the same vibes from this, but I really do want to see like a little bit more shading in between some of these objects to create a little bit more depth. Now how much shading you can do with like the lean cup in the city here, like I'm not sure. Like maybe some of the city is kind of peering over, or like kind of peering over or in front of the cup. Or maybe even if you had like it seems kind of like you have like some clouds right here to try and obscure this a bit. So maybe if there were more clouds to kind of help obscure that. But definitely needs like a little bit more shading here. And with the kind of black kind of drop shadow here, like I feel like the black, you're doing yourself a disservice by just leaving that black there. I feel like if that texture should extend to the back, but also at the same time it is kind of helping to make this text stand out a little bit. So maybe if the background here was a little bit darker, so that you could have this kind of gold like texture kind of extend to the back so that it actually looks 3D. I think that would be good. And then maybe making like certain sections of this darker, like I think the primary thing being like you got the old school here, like this is then the road coming out of the cup of lean here. I think that kind of, it's like muted a bit, because there's so much in the background. So maybe if like this was darker, and instead of being able to make out the buildings, maybe it's just the light areas, that you're seeing, and it's a little bit more in the background, so that the road can kind of stand out, like, and I can see the edge of the road here. I think stuff like that would have been good. Yeah, I think that's all I got for this one. any other thoughts? All right. Overall though, solid cover. Big Problem Mac. On to the next one. All right. Now we've got the Sweat cover by Sydney 7. Decided to scrap my original design and go with this cover, inspired by the Sweat tour. What y'all think of this one? Y'all got any thoughts on this one? Maybe me says thought that was MGK. I feel like this one is could have been a little bit more kind of reminiscent of kind of the 90s or kind of bling cover art. Like I like how, you know, you've taken kind of this chrome and kind of made it green, saturated it, did like this color overlay effect to make it green, so that instead of it looking kind of like chrome that's very reminiscent of like 90s and stuff, that you're using the green from like the Charlie, you know, XCX album. But I think in this sense, I don't know, something about it that comes across as like slime, like, you know. So I feel like you could have just left this chrome. I feel like that would have played well with some of these other elements that you have as well. Let me see. Y'all got any thoughts on this one? Like, I like the lightning, but to make it fit kind of within the kind of 90s aesthetic, I think it would have been cool to have like some sort of like green fire or something like that. I think that could have been really cool. And why the keys? I'm not sure why you have the keys in there. I don't know the significance of that, or the rush is like energy drink. Is that an energy drink? Gibson says, I love the concept and colors, but I was wondering what it would look like with more contrast, like having a deeper shadow for the wings. Yeah, it could use some more contrast. And I feel like the elements that you have, you've got like some elements that are kind of photographs, but like the wings are like illustrated, I believe. And then these are photographs as well, but then you've got these other kind of illustrated elements. I feel like if you would have just picked between kind of having references or elements that are photographic based or illustration based, you know, I feel like I feel like this would have worked a little bit better. Like if you actually had like wings that were, you know, from some sort of animal or something like that, you know, kind of like Animorphs or something like that from like the from the Birdman pen and pixel cover art. I feel like something like that could have played well with this. Let's see. Yeah, what do y'all think? Let me see. Maybe me says perfect font for a Young Thug album. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, it looks like slime. But yeah, overall, I think that there are just like a lot of elements. Like, you know, not every cover needs the title of the song or the album or the artist name on it. So I feel like if you would have just gotten rid of a few of those elements, you know, you would already be kind of a step in the right direction. You know, I think this is one of those covers where, you know, if you just get rid of this, the sweat altogether, get rid of Charlie XCX, and then the other text over here. I think this would have been a lot more breathable as far as the cover. And then let me see here. And then these elements kind of have like a cutout feel to them, like the like you've got the disco ball, then you've got like the energy drink and the keys here. I would have liked to see it, you know, like maybe there's like a cutout effect applied to like all of this, you know. So if you would have printed out each one of these elements individually and then kind of put them together almost to kind of feel like a collage, I feel like that would have been really good to kind of help unify the composition a little bit. But yeah, I think that's all I've got on this one. Y'all have any more thoughts? All right, on to the next one. All right, we've got this cover by Jackie Wong 29. He says, "This is my final 90s mixtape art cover design. I tried to enlarge the words Michael, but it was not successful." Did you design this? And how did you tried to enlarge the words Michael, but you weren't successful? What are you designing this on? Did you make this on your phone? Do we got Jackie Wong in the chat? Do we have Jackie Wong in the chat? If anybody, if like if you're designing this on your phone and you're submitting for the design challenge, like, I salute you. Like, bro, if you're designing on your phone and you need Photoshop, let me know. Y'all get in touch with Jackie Wong and like and tell him like, yo, Swoop said he got you a year subscription for Photoshop just for the free ski. Like, if you're making this on your phone, like, I got you, bro. Like, that's the first thing I thought when I saw this cover. I was like, this person is designing this on their phone, iPad, something, Microsoft Paint, like free. I don't know. What's that old plugin, or not the plugin, the web browser based app, Photo Bucket. Hideout says, I also design on my phone. Are you on Photoshop Express? Like, how are y'all designing stuff on y'all's phone, bro? Like, I cannot work like at that small of a screen size. But Jackie Wong, like, as far as like cover art, I don't know if I can give this one a fair critique. Like it's definitely kind of a 90s, you know what I mean? But like, it's just from Space Jam. Then you've got the shoes in the back there, and then you've got Michael Jordan slapped on top of it. Like I want you to tap in with me, bro. so we could hook you up. But I mean, y'all got any thoughts for this one? Maybe me says could have went without the Michael Jordan font on it. Yeah, that's the thing, is I think they just put the Michael Jordan typeface on top of it, and this is like an actual picture from like from Space Jam, and they've just got that in the background along with like the shoes and stuff. So yeah, Jackie Wong, tap in with me. Like, let's figure something out for you, so you don't have to do this in whatever program you're doing. But let's go to the next one, unless y'all have any thoughts on this one. mean, you could have like cut out Michael Jordan here. You know, maybe thresholded it. You know, you can never go wrong with a solid threshold. Threshold it, keep them at the same sort of angle there, and then maybe kind of superimpose in maybe like all caps like Michael Jordan on the side. But you know, it's like I don't really know how this kind of correlates to like the like prompt of like 90s kind of rap music, pen and pixel kind of bling art aesthetic. It doesn't fall within any of those categories. And so if you had done something kind of more along those lines, I think that I would be able to give this one a fair critique. But yeah, let's move on to the next one. All right, we've got YNOY3. He says, I don't know if the style is from the 90s, but I tried. Y'all got any thoughts on this one? How to design on you designing on PixArt? That's crazy. Yeah, y'all got any thoughts on this one? I think this one is solid. Definitely like reminds me more of kind of like golden age rap music kind of cover art. You know, very, very simple. But also you've kind of got a lot of elements at play here. So, you know, it makes it a little bit more modern. Hideout says this is mine. Why don't you use the same name? YNOY3. Okay. And anytime I see YNOY3, I'm gonna just put it as Hideout. They say I speed ran this one. No, this one is solid. I feel like you know, for the cover, I don't know if you need the track list on the front necessarily. I feel like you could have done without that one. And honestly, like I think the composition is solid, but I think if you just removed a few things, this would be in a good spot. Like remove the track list. I think if you can take Cactus and move that somewhere, you know, within kind of Rodeo or next to Rodeo, and then also place Travis Scott somewhere, you know, like within this kind of red kind of block that you have here, so that it's not just kind of like hanging on the outside. And then maybe remove the It's Lit, and then maybe remove Travis Scott, the figure here, completely, and just have, you know, the Cactus a little bit more in frame. I think it would make it a little bit simpler, but I think that would be pretty solid. You know, I think you have a good hierarchy there as far as all the elements. But right now, like the way my eye goes, you know, I'm kind of getting lost within these elements here on the right side of the page, but my eye really enjoys this section here with like just the Cactus. So I feel like if you remove the track list, figured out a way to package these up nice and neat to complement the Rodeo that you have here, I feel like this would have been solid. And then also maybe I kind of like the double border. I think you could have done with just one though, but the double border doesn't bother me too much. Hideout says, yes, I agree. The track list should be removed. Maybe Me says, put the Cactus logo as the O in Travis Scott. Yeah, you could do something like that. Or maybe just kind of, kind of take the black Cactus, make the red kind of stroke around that black as well, and then just kind of completely replace that and just remove the yellow. Or no, actually keep the yellow if you're going to keep the yellow border, so that has something to play off of. But yeah, this is solid.